I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see.
Hi, it's Kirsty from Adeline Country Cottage, and I am back with you today. I have finished my other wooden journals. Well, actually, I've finished them about a week ago, and I've only had a chance now to be able to give it a film. I've been trying for the last 2 weeks to organize my passport because I am going to Bali for a quick holiday with my husband. So I just wanted to get everything done and finalized with the journals, with a few more that are coming out. These ones I did show you the front covers of when I showed my other chippy paint doors inspired by Jamie Ray Vintage, and I showed you just a brief quick overview of these covers with my stick and rip method in the Vintage Wallpapers. And so without further ado, let's just jump straight in, and we'll start with this one here. I've just used this beautiful pale blue vintage wallpaper. I think it's dated about the 1930s, and I've just done a bit of stamping, and then beyond that is where I've stuck down book pages, vintage book pages, and then I've just ripped them off to give it that muted and give it only a little bit of writing that or the typotext that's left behind. And you know, I've done that on the back, and I've also done some stamping as well. And then of course I've just used a binding method is with the florist wire to make it look like it's farmhouse wire that's just been snipped off a fence. And we will just move straight inside. So inside these ones, as you know, that I've added a linen rose petal dyed fabric inside for a little pocket where you can place something inside. I've added a vintage, authentic vintage postcard where I've done some stitching around the edges. And these are just all printables that I've printed from the collection that I have, and I've just sort of tea dyed those and added some reinforcement with vintage wallpaper to add to the same color palette. This page painted with the same style painting like I did on the previous journals, and just done some stitching and some more reinforcement, a place where you can journal or write down what you need to write. We've got a dashboard that I've made with a vintage fabric. I absolutely love this color blue, it's really beautiful. I love all the berries that are on there, it's just gorgeous. I've added a little tab. I've done some stitching around this page here. It's just some tea dyed paper, again with the painting with the stitching and reinforcement. This one is basically like the other ones that I put up in my previous video, where I've just covered it with parchment paper and then done some stitching around the edges. The page out of the Last Frontier book with some vintage wallpaper on the as some reinforcement. Sorry, I can't speak today. This one here is again with the it's a napkin, and I've just sort of pulled them apart and decoupaged it to some tracing paper. I just love the way that the effect and the sound that it makes. Some more places to write, and again we've got some more of the painted page and stitching with some vintage wallpaper. We have some vintage lace made into a pocket. Again, another page that's been stitched and painted. Some parchment paper, source file with reinforcements of vintage wallpaper. Now this is a vintage wallpaper dashboard that I also made. This particular wallpaper was given to me by, where is it? I need to show you because it's absolutely stunning wallpaper. This was given to me by a follower by the name of her name's Deb. She's been following me for years, and she sent this to me for some happy mail. Isn't it stunning? Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous wallpaper. I'm hoping to use that for something else, something else that's special. Just gorgeous wallpaper. Again with the page out of that vintage photo book, and some more of that linen and some lace. Again, the lace is from Susan, from Vintage Emporium Fabrics. No, I keep getting the name wrong. Vintage Fabric Emporium. She has a beautiful website, and I've just added some vintage wallpaper down the side there, and here for more reinforcement, and of course again with a pocket. So that's that one. It's very cute. Love the blue. Again, would love to keep. This one here again with some wallpaper, some stamping, and of course that strip and rip method, stick and rip. We go inside. We've got again the pocket, another one of those beautiful authentic postcards. It's just really, I love these. I love all the black and white ones, and it's literally identical inside. It's as in the previous ones that I made. It's just a different postcard, but the dashboards are different again because it's to lend towards the front covers, the color palette that's on the front cover. This is one of my favorite fabrics, and so I've made that into a dashboard. Again, as you can see, the pages are pretty much identical. These discs here were a cutout leftovers of Tsunami Rose printable, which I did mention that I've got in another journal that I'm in the process of making. So it's got some reinforcements on the side, parchment paper, source file. Again, another vintage wallpaper dashboard. Love this one. Love the pink. More of that linen tip in. Another page again to flip. And so that's that one again with another pocket, some stamping. So that's that particular one. Is really gorgeous. And then we come to this one. As I said, all the same inside except for the postcard and the dashboard. Now this one's actually sold already. Somebody had sort of jumped in when I showed it back in my previous video. And so there's a vintage postcard here. This one was meant to have two rings, but I decided against it, and yeah, so it is what it is. Again, everything's the same. Beautiful vintage fabric, another one of my favorites, and all the other pages are identical to what's in the other two journals, except, you know, it's lending towards more of the other vintage wallpaper that's already in here. And this is another one again, another vintage wallpaper, 1930s this one, 1940s, somewhere around there, or it could be earlier than that, but this one, gorgeous, love it, love it, love it. And again with the photo matte paper, card stock. I'm not working well today. And of course the pocket to pop anything inside. So that concludes my 3 new vintage wooden journals. They should be up on the website soon. As I said, this pink one here is already sold, and yeah, I'm loving how they turned out. It's the same as the collage board that I did, which was originally what I was going to film on, but it just looked too busy, so I decided to put them on here. Anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for the many subscribers that have that's joined in the last couple of weeks. Welcome, and I really appreciate every one of you for watching and seeing what I come up with next. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, or down, up to you. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that bell button on the side there, and you can get a notification of my next video when I upload it. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Thanks, bye.